You're a rich girl and you've gone too far, cause you know it don't matter anyway. You can rely on the old man's money.
Today I'm gonna teach you how to make eclairs, and we're gonna learn a basic pâte choux dough recipe that you're gonna be able to make eclairs, profiteroles, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Don't you know?
Because you cook it first and then you bake it. So there are two cooking processes for the same dough. And the reason why we do this is because first we are gonna extract the liquids and the moisture from the dough by cooking it. And after we extract this moisture, we are gonna add the eggs to compensate this moisture. So when we put this dough in the oven, it's gonna pop up, and then it's gonna pop up and it's gonna be hollow inside because of the moisture. The steam will create a hollow hole inside the dough. Add to your pan water, butter, salt, and sugar. Wooden spoon must be around, and watch your butter melt evenly. As soon as it melts, turn off your heat and add your flour all at once. Stir until it all comes together. This process should take 30 seconds. Now turn on your heat again and keep stirring it over for a couple of minutes. This process is called the sécher, and you're supposed to sweat during this. You want to take all the moisture out of this dough here. Beat it until you see this dry film in your pan. You're going to start incorporating the eggs now. And the egg process is kind of complex just because there's not an exact measurement for the eggs, like 3-4 eggs. We don't know. It's going to depend how much moisture you pull out of this, and it's going to depend on the humidity. It's going to depend on the size of your egg. So you're going to put this dough in our stand mixer, or you can keep beating it with your hands, but I'm gonna use the mixer because it's easier. And I'm gonna beat it for a little while until all the moisture has, all the steam has coming out of this dough. After your dough releases some of the steam, we can start adding the eggs, one at a time. Add the first egg and wait until it's all incorporated. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can do this with your hands and a wooden spoon. Now I'm adding the second one. And I can see now the dough is close to be ready. And I still have to add another one because I can see it's too thick. We are close to the final result now. And this is the most critical part because you have to look at your dough and see if it's ready or not. The consistency of this dough should be heavy enough to pull away some of the dough in the pedal attachment, like you see now. You can also run a wooden spoon on the middle of this dough and see if it leaves a channel open. If it does, it's ready. Now we can put this inside a pastry bag and give the eclairs its shape.
Que passa no igual sem fim, minha terra passava dentro de mim.
Over parchment paper, press your pastry bag and give the elongated shape to your eclairs.
Passava como se o rio não desaguasse no mar. O rio deságua no mar, já tanta coisa aprendi. Mas o que é mais...
Brush a basic egg wash over it, 1 egg and 2 tablespoons of milk. Now we bake it for approximately 40 minutes at 400 Fahrenheit, and then depending on how it is on the inside, we're gonna let it dry for a little longer with the door open. Meanwhile, let's make our pastry cream. Combine in a pan milk and vanilla bean and vanilla seed and bring it to a boil. Once it boils, turn off your heat and put the lid on and let it steep for 15 minutes. In a bowl, place your egg yolks and sugar and let's blanchir it, which is basically whisking it to pale yellow. Just like this. Now add your flour and cornstarch and whisk it till combined. Now let's temper the egg yolk mixture. Remove the beans from your milk and pour some of this hot liquid in your egg yolk mixture and stir it very fast so it doesn't cook the eggs. Pour this mixture back to a pan over medium heat and whisk it constantly until it thickens. After it comes to a boil, you have to whisk it for 3 more minutes. And then turn it off. Pour your pastry cream in another bowl to cool it over an ice bath. The ice bath will settle it and then we can put the plastic wrap on top, touch the pastry cream so it doesn't form a film and refrigerate it. Our eclairs are drying out in the oven for an extra 10 minutes with the doors ajar. And meanwhile, we are gonna finish making our légère cream. So I have my pastry cream here, and now I'm gonna whip some heavy cream with my balloon whisk. When you need to incorporate air, you need your balloon whisk. When you don't need to incorporate air, you can use your regular whisk. The difference is the size between these things here. Stir your pastry cream, that must be a little hard from standing in your refrigerator. And whip your heavy cream that should be kept in your refrigerator until you need it. It must be cold. I just achieved hard peaks, which is this. There's no hook forming, there's nothing, there's no dropping, so this is a hard peak. Be careful after this stage or you can make butter. Unless you want to make butter, we don't want to make butter. Add your whipped cream to your pastry cream and slowly incorporate everything. It wasn't supposed to rhyme, but you have to stir it from the bottom to the top very slowly to don't lose this aeration and this texture. Now our eclairs are done and dried inside. You can make a test. You can have one weird eclair just to make this test. You open it and you see how much moisture you have inside. If it's too much moisture inside, you have to keep it on your oven for, I don't know, 10, 20, maybe 25, 30 minutes extra. We never know with the doors ajar. Because you need to dry on the inside of this. It has to be light, just like a feather. Almost like a feather. Nothing is as light as a feather, but and it has to be very crispy and it has to have this nice color and it has to be super delicious. So now what we do is we make a hole on the eclair so we can fill with the cream. And to make this hole, we are going to use the tip of the pastry bag. I have this filling tip here, which is 802. Does it make sense to you? And we're going to make 2 holes in the bottom. Now fit your pastry bag tip inside this hole and wait until your cream comes to the other side. See? Now it's filled, so you can take the extra cream off and go for another one. Fill it all the way, and when you see popping out on the other side, it means you filled it completely. Now that all our beautiful eclairs are filled with our légère cream, very heavy now. It was supposed to be feather light before, but now it could be like a guitar heavy or something heavy. Guitar is not even that heavy anyways. It's supposed to be heavy now. And we are gonna make the glaze to go on top. Some people think aesthetic is more important than taste, and I'm totally not into that. So some people use that white glaze. You can buy that pre-made, the sugar glaze, or you can buy the chocolate glaze, which is basically like a sugar glaze with food coloring on. And I don't do that. I'm gonna make a real chocolate glaze. Place your bittersweet chocolate inside a little bowl and pour over it 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. Microwave it for 30 seconds to a minute and let it steep and melt the chocolate.
Vou explicar o que é o Chattanooga Choo-choo. Choo-choo é trem que
As soon as your chocolate melts, stir it and pour some honey and a couple tablespoons of water.
que para o Chattanooga Choo-choo eu vou saltar se fosse.
Make this mixture uniform.
E você pega o trem na Pennsylvania Station às 3 horas e tal. Pouco a pouco vai saindo da capital. Toma cafezinho, tira uma pestana.
Holding the bottom of your eclair, place it over your chocolate and make sure all the topping is covered with your glaze.
Para o brasileiro está querendo sambar. Pois o maquinista pode ser sambista. Chattanooga veio vou encontrar um certo alguém que lá me espera na estação. Um certo alguém. I used to go funny face, pois ando com a dona Grace. Quero chegar, pois sei que
So today you learn how to make pâte choux or cream puff pastry, which is gonna make you able to make profiteroles or the type of French gnocchi, which I don't like, which is pâte choux instead of the regular potato gnocchi, but you can also use for that. To make eclairs, you can make a heart shape, a triangle shape, a ball shape, any shape you want with your cream puff pastry. I filled mine with creme légère just to give a little kick and make something different because I normally use pastry cream, but pastry cream is the most classic thing to fill your eclairs and I love it. Let's see how it tastes.
tira uma pestana. Chattanooga veio vou encontrar um certo alguém que lá me espera na estação. Um certo alguém.
This is ridiculously good, especially with the topping still a little warm. Hands up. Woo! But I'm not leaving my eclair. Hands up with my eclair on my hands. And thanks for watching me. Oh,